because my first guest was in New York today. Joining me now is Michael Moore, Academy Award-winning filmmaker, activist, and author of the new book, Here Comes Trouble, Stories from My Life. Michael, thank you very much for joining me tonight. I love this book, and I love its title, Here Comes Trouble. Where are you right now, Michael? Are you causing trouble? What are you doing?
I'm here in Liberty Plaza in New York City. We are a block or so off Wall Street. We have financial buildings all surrounding us here. We're in the financial district, and we're in the 12th day now of an occupation of Liberty Plaza here. Thousands of people over the last 12 days have come to this plaza. Thousands of Americans, thousands of people who have come from all walks of life. Because they have had it. Because, I mean, that opening you just gave, this segment, that's the most brilliant thing I've heard on television this week. And thank you for saying what you just said, because nothing happened today for these people. Nothing happened yesterday, and nothing is going to happen tomorrow. And, you know, they're not going to do anything because they're bought and paid for. These politicians, they're bought and paid for by the people who work in these buildings up here on the top floors of Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley. All these people, they buy these politicians, so nothing is going to get done. The people have had it, and that's why they've come here. And this is only going to grow. This is going to grow here in Liberty Plaza, and you're going to see this happening in cities all over the country, not because I say so, not because they say so.
We say so.
No. Actually, what happened is that the rich weren't satisfied with having practically everything. They wanted it all. And so they have made lives miserable for so many millions of people. People that have lost their homes, people that are being foreclosed upon, over 50 million people that don't have health insurance. The people have lost their jobs. They say it's 14 million. That's the official number. It's well over 20 million. And if you count all the people who are underemployed, in other words, they're working, but they're making a poverty wage, you're talking upwards to 30 million Americans. We've got 46 million living in poverty. People have had it. People have absolutely had it, and they're not going to take it anymore. And you see now the seeds of this revolt that's going to take place nonviolently across the country. The reason it will be nonviolent, the reason it doesn't have to be violent is because there's millions of us, and there's only really a few hundred of them. So it's not really a fair fight.
Well, Michael, it's going to be nonviolent as long as the police around those protesters stay nonviolent. I'm going to talk later in the program, as I did earlier this week, about some of the police brutality that they've had to suffer in trying to express themselves on this issue. And Michael, is it your sense that what you have there and what you have going on in the country is basically a cry from the heart? It's not so much specifically about we want to change this clause in this bill or we want to do that, but you just need to bring attention to these massive inequities and in fact the stall that no one is doing anything. There isn't necessarily the right big piece of legislation to get behind right now, is there?
No, we're not down here to support Senate Bill 2567. No. We're beyond that. They had their chance a long time ago to try and fix this. They didn't fix it because they're in the pocket of these people down here on Wall Street. So this is not about supporting some piece of legislation or let's get behind some politician. This is going to be, and historically in America, this has happened a number of times. It happened after World War I, where the veterans were not paid their benefits. It happened during the Great Depression, when workers rose up in my town of Flint, Michigan, where the modern-day union movement began because people just took over the GM factories. This is what happens when people have had it. And it's not about policy wonkness and beltway. That nobody cares about that anymore. They are just going to descend on, whether it's New York, whether it's in D.C., whether it's in Los Angeles, San Francisco, this is just going to build and build. And you're going to see what I see here tonight. I don't know, your camera probably can't pick this up, but you see a variety of Americans here. You see really the mosaic of this country. You have young people here. You have senior citizens here. You have teachers here. You have nurses here. You have unemployed people here. You have young people who will be paying off student loans until their 40s. And if they lived in any other Western democracy, they wouldn't be in hock for half of their adult lives. This is. I thought somebody put it best the other day when they said the main reason people are down here is to reclaim their future. Not the past, not even the present, but the future has been stolen. That's just how greedy these people are here on Wall Street. And so I'm honored to be part of this, and I'm glad that you have put focus on this. I'm glad that you put focus on the brutality that these demonstrators and protesters had to go through on Saturday. It just, Lawrence, can I just say this? After what the individuals in these high-rises did back in 2008, where they crashed this country right into the ground, and they just ruined it. Millions more without work. Millions lost their pensions. Just total calamity and chaos for the last 3 years in this country. To this day, not a single one of them arrested. Not one of them. Not one of them. But on Saturday, 100 of these citizens who were being nonviolent, they were arrested. How can I live in a country that arrests 100 nonviolent people and doesn't arrest a single one of these bankers or the people that caused this collapse? Just boggles the mind.
Well, you live in a country where that kind of conduct has to be protested and is being protested. We are grateful to be able to report. Michael, I want you to know, in our control room here, we have a very simple policy. When an Academy Award-winning director asks to widen the shot, we widen the shot. And I'm very glad you did that, because we did get to take in all those people around you down there, and it is an inspirational-looking group down there. I'm going to do one Twitter question for you, Michael, before the break. Then we're going to come back after the break. This one is from Eileen Sarrett Kwasai. She's one of my favorite tweeters. She tweets a lot on my feed. She says, Lawrence, I wonder if M. Moore could articulate some specific, tangible goals for this protest, as I've yet to hear any and really would like to.
Right. A lot of people have been asking this question. What are the goals? What are the demands? What you have to understand about this protest is this is unlike any other protest that you've seen in your lifetime, because there's no dues-paying organization that we all belong to. You know, there's no membership form. There's no one person that comes in here and says, now this is our agenda and this is the way it's going to be. There are a variety of demands and concerns within this group. I can say what some of mine are, but don't mistake that for what the breadth of this group here, because I saw Ron Paul people here. I mean, there's all kinds of there's all kinds of Americans here. There's all kinds of Americans here, and nobody here is calling themselves a Democrat or a Republican or a liberal or a conservative. We're beyond that. That's right. This is the people. And everyone here represents thousands of Americans who can't be here tonight, who feel the same exact way. So, I mean, I've said what I've said for a long time. Tax the rich, jail the bankers, end corporate welfare, end these wars which are costing us $2 billion a week. It goes on and on. And if we pass the microphone around, you'd hear 15 other things that need to get done. And you know what? They're going to get done, because this is our country. We're the majority. We're the majority. Never forget that the people who work for a living in this country, we are the people. Not the people up here who are taking people's pensions and their bank accounts and ruining it and destroying their lives. They are not running this country anymore. They think they are, but that's going to come to an end right now.